When I was in ninth grade, my best friend met one of my fourth grade friends. Let's call her Stephanie. Because I had transferred schools and my best friend didn't know Stephanie, so she asked her if she knew who I was and what she'd think of me. Stephanie said, "Oh yeah, I know Natalia. She's so weird." That explained all the pushing, teasing, insulting, not talking to me, even filming me over the bathroom stalls with her phone. Stephanie wasn't my friend, she was my bully. Weird. People think the word weird is an insult because the word weird has a negative connotation, an idea or feeling in which a word invokes for a person in addition to its literal or primary meaning. So the definition you might know and use for weird is not the original one. If someone told you you're weird, you would feel offended, right? Well, what if I told you that's totally up to you? According to the dictionary, the word weird by definition means suggesting something supernatural or unearthly. Then I found a synonym for the word, and what I found shocked me. Unusual, not habitually or commonly occurring or done. Another meaning for it would be remarkable or interesting because different from or better than others. So why? Why was I feeling so miserable if someone called me weird? It is now that I'm realizing that I didn't have to get hurt by it. It is up to me to decide whether I want to take it as an insult or a compliment. Sometimes people would make fun of me for being the only girl who played soccer, do robotics, play with boys, play the drums, not dress up like a princess in Halloween, or not have a relatively expensive doll. Actually, it was this doll who taught me my first lesson on redefining weird. It was back in 2012. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and all the girls in my grade had at least one of these dolls. I had none. I got teased for not having one. So that summer, when we were taking a trip around the US and stopped in New York City, we went to the doll store to look around, and I started crying, hoping my mom would let me get one. She didn't want me to get one because deep down she knew I wasn't going to like it. But like the stubborn kid I was, I took the doll who looked just like me, took a pair of cowgirl clothes, and went straight to the cashier. That would be $160. My mom looked deep into my eyes and asked me if I was sure of this decision. I nodded and gave the cashier 2 50s, 2 20s, and the rest in 5s. Looking at all the money in my hand reminded me of all the birthdays and Christmas that went by so I could save up those $160. But at that moment, I would have done anything to fit in. I was stoked. I took my doll Natalie everywhere. The museum, the Apple store, the Chinese restaurant with really good food. I took her everywhere. A couple of days passed and Natalie was being left in the rental car, not going to museums, Apple stores, nor any restaurants. I only had $5 in my wallet, and there were so many things I wanted but couldn't get. I looked at my mom with a face full of regret and sobbed, "I hate this doll. There's nothing special about it." Then, later that day, we went to the doll store, talked a little, and before I knew it, I had my $160 back. Then we went to Best Buy, and between my 3 brothers and I, we bought our first PlayStation 3 that we still use as I speak. I didn't like dolls, I didn't like makeup, nor doing my hair. So why did I do anything I could to get such an expensive doll? Peer pressure? To fit in? Because I felt different from everyone else? All of these are accurate. Because everyone had one and always talked about the new hairdo and the new shoes they bought for the doll, I wanted to fit in. I guess deep down, without being conscious about it, I didn't want to be weird. There's always going to be people who might question your actions and abilities, but that doesn't mean you should pay attention to their way of thinking. Later on, in my first year of middle school, I joined the entrepreneurship club. For my first product, I created pen pals. Pen pals changed my belief system. I started understanding that if I relied on people's judgment, I wouldn't be where I stand today. When I explained the concept of pen pals to peers, I received unfavorable comments. However, I decided to take those comments and turn them into feedback and belief in myself and in my potential. Being in the club gave me a support system, allowing me to reach my goals and my best self. After pen pals, I've created many products. and today I am the president of the entrepreneurship club in my high school. What I've learned over the years of misery is you shouldn't care what other people think. I'm not saying you should be ridiculous and make a fool of yourself. What I'm saying is that if you want to dance like nobody's watching because that's what you want to do it. No one has full context on your intent. No one knows 100% of everything that's going on in your head, so their opinion shouldn't matter more than your own. All my life I've stopped doing things I am passionate about because of someone else, because people would make fun of me or not want to talk to me. I stopped being who I wanted to be and started becoming who the world wanted me to be. And as a young kid, I didn't know what was going on in my life and thought I was normal. Crying every day after school was normal. Going to the bathroom to be able to talk to my best friend was normal. Eating lunch with the teachers was normal. Being cautious every time I went to the bathroom so someone wouldn't film me was normal. And honestly, I didn't want to be normal. So weird. Being yourself. Being true to yourself without the need of pleasing others, and being away from toxic people. Doing what you want. Choosing to be friends with people who love you for who you are. And remember, it is up to you to decide whether you want to take it as an insult or a compliment. This is how I chose to define weird. So all that's left to say is, be weird, be you.